Okay, so building and leading a high-performance team is a core responsibility of supervisor and people managers in public organizations, where results are measured not only by efficiency but also by equity, accountability, and service impact. In the public sector, teams operate within complex rules with diverse professional backgrounds and strong stakeholder expectation, making teamwork a strategic asset rather than a soft skill. For MPA students, this topic emphasizes that strong institutions are built through clear purpose, trust, collaboration, and of course, discipline execution, all guided by effective supervisory leadership. At this point, I will allow the presenter to discuss the key concept, models, and practices involved in building and leading high-performance teams. As you listen, consider your own experiences in offices, projects, or interagency task force, and reflect on how leadership behaviors, communication patterns, and performance system either strengthen teamwork or undermine collective results in public service setting. And to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter this afternoon.
Thank you, Doc.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Forming and managing team is essential to the success of any firm and organization, uh, and calls for a strong communication teamwork and leadership abilities. Together, a well-functioning team may do significantly more than people working alone by using it a variety of viewpoint skills and experiences to accomplish shared goals in order to promote cooperation, improve performance, and achieve long-term success of the organization. In the introduction, high-performing teams consistently delivers results above expectations while remaining resilient, innovative, and engaged. They don't happen by accident. They are intentionally built and thoughtfully led. Teamwork and motivation must be maintained by leaders in acknowledging, applauding accomplishments, also by reinforcing and appreciation and recognition. Next slide, please. The number one, start with a clear purpose. Now, if we build a high performance team, we need to have this a clear purpose of the organization. High performing teams understand why they exist. What great leaders do: first, define a compelling mission that connects to real impact. It translates vision into clear, measurable goals. Then also ensure every rule contributes directly to the outcomes. If people can't explain how their work matters, performance will stall. So it is very important that the organization has a clear goal. Okay, next. Number two, we need to put right people in the right rules. Okay? Talent alone isn't enough. We need to alignment matters. The key principles of uh, the key principles first is to hire for attitude, no, and learning ability, not just experience. It is very important in hiring right people to the organization and to the set position. Kasi minsan ang isang hinahire natin, although they are more have experience, at the same time they have the ability, but they have bad attitude. No, it will not fall to that criteria wherein you have to build a strong organization, strong team to have a good results. Then the next is balance skills, no, personalities and perspectives, and clarity, responsibilities to avoid overlap and confusion. Because high performing teams optimize strengths, not sameness. No? This is the characteristic of teams organization. It should have customer loyalty, profitability, productivity, product quality, and lower turnover, at the same time safety incidents, and less absences, at the same time shrinkable of that part of the organization. We need to put the right people to the right rules of the organization. Next slide, please. Number 3, we need to build psychological safety. Create a psychological safety at work. It will promote self-awareness. At the same time, it will demonstrate concern for team members as people. It will actively solicit questions and provide multiple ways for employees to share their thoughts. It shows value appreciation for ideas, and so promote positive dialogue and discussions. We need to be precise with informations and expectations and commitments, and also explain reason for change. At the same time, it is very important to the supervisor or managers to own up to mistakes. Next slides, next slides, please. Teams performs best when people feel safe to speak. It's very important that everyone in the team is welcome to the group. No, leaders should first encourage questions and dissent. At the same time, we need to treat mistakes as learning opportunities for a team. Then model vulnerability and humility. It is very important to become humble always. No? When fear disappears, innovation and accountability increase. It is very important in the organization. As a leader, you have to make your team feel comfortable. No? You have to not to instill fear, no, as a leader, but you have to become an example of the team, of the organization, to encourage and motivate your people. The next slides. Number 4, we need to set high standards and support them. As an organization, as a leader, you have to set a high standard. As part of that, you need to set a high quota of if ever there is a sales, if there is a work wherein we need to set high standards, because we set high, and then the potentials of our team members will be utilized. Now, the best methods to measure employee performance is first is to gather, analyze data. Then use software. Number 3, we need to have feedback and coaching. And number 4, implement SMART goals. Next slides, please. A high performance requires clarity plus challenge. The best practices is to define what great looks like. Okay. The next is to use strength goals without burnout. Then coach frequently, not just during reviews. It's very important for always mentoring and coaching your team members. Then accountability without support, it will create stress. Then support without accountability, it will create mediocrity. Okay, we need as part of this is the stretch goals. Goals set behind current capabilities or expectations. No, we need to encourage big thinking and innovation of team members. So SMART goals naman, goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bounded. It's very important that goals are achievable. That will provide clarity, focus, and motivation. Then commit goals, non-negotiable goals that an individual or organizations commits to achieving. We need to designate top priorities and help to focus effort. Next slides. Communication is the operating system of a team. High performance teams share information openly and early. Use regular check-ins and feedbacks loops. Resolve conflict quickly and constructively. Then silence is more dangerous than disagreement. It's very important that open the communication is open to everyone. Next. We have 7 essential tips for effective team communications. Number 1, having one-on-one interactions. Then number 2, encourage two-way feedback. Then number 3, we need to show appreciation. Whatever they do, we need to appreciate or recognize their efforts. Number 4, conduct team building activities. It's very important for the organization, for a team, to have building activities, to improve relationship and to be able to to have time for each other. Number 5, use time wisely, because time is gold. We need to use time wisely. Number 6, promote communication. It is very important that communication is always open in the organization. Number 7, platform of communications. So these are the 7 essential tips for effective team communication. Next slide, please. Number 6, empower and don't micromanage. Okay. One of the challenge of the supervisors or managers, sometimes they micromanage. They don't empower the people. First, we need to trust drives, speed and ownership. We need to see to it that our team members, they have the sense of ownership of whatever goals and vision that we have. Effective leaders must have delegate outcomes, not just tasks. We need to give autonomy within clear boundaries. Okay. We need to remove obstacles instead of controlling work. Ownership turns employees into problem solvers, not task doers. Okay, next. The delegative leadership style, okay, the trust. It is very important as a leader that you are trusted by your subordinates, because trust is very important. Then autonomy, responsibility, accountability, training and support, and comfort with mistakes. That's the delegative leadership style. The next. Number 7, recognize, reward, and learn. High-performing teams reflect and recharge. It is very important that to sustain excellence as a team, celebrating wins, big or small, recognizing behaviors, not just results, running retrospect to improve continuously. And momentum comes from progress plus appreciation. Then it is very important that whatever we do, whatever goals that we have as supervisors or managers, we need to see to it that we recognize the effort of our team members. It is very important as part of the motivation wherein they are willing to work as a team. Next. Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, high performance teams are characterized by shared goals, defined rules, mutual accountability, and continuous learning. In public administration, supervisors play an important role in aligning individual contributions with organizational mandates while fostering an environment where collaboration and professionalism thrive. Effective team leadership requires balancing task achievement with relationship management, ensuring that standards are met without sacrificing moral or ethical conduct. A realistic example can be seen in a local government projects, team tasked with implementing a community health or disaster preparedness program. A supervisor who set clear targets, encourages cross-functional coordination, and recognizes team contribution can significantly improve service delivery outcomes. In contrast, weak leadership marked by unclear redirection or favoritism often leads to silos, delays and diminish public trust because high-performance team emerge when supervisors actively support coordination, feedback, and problem solving. For MPA students, this topic reinforces that leading high-performance team is a strategic leadership function, not an incidental outcome. Supervisors must cultivate competence, trust, and accountability while navigating bureaucratic constraints and public expectations. Future public managers, your ability to build and sustain effective will directly influence organizational performance, employee engagement, and the quality of services delivered to citizens. Okay? Thank you so much.